list of most admired CEOs. Wayne Shield grew up in very poor surroundings in Hong Kong. His family lived in the government housing complex in Wong Tai Sin. Even then, his father would always remember to send money back every month to their relatives in their hometown in China. It funds loans for immigrants to obtain Canadian professional qualifications and provides foreign-trained professionals with a practical Canadian work experience. It promotes social enterprise and innovation in the non-profit sector. The Shield School of Business in Bow Valley College was unveiled in 2014, demonstrating his steadfast contributions to education. Over the years, he has made an invaluable mark on virtually every corner of the Calgary community. Wayne has been recognized for his remarkable accomplishments through various honors. He was appointed a member of the Order of Canada in 2015 and an appointee of the Alberta Order of Excellence in 2018. Wayne has received the Alberta Business Hall of Fame Lifetime Achievement Award, and most recently, he was given an honorary doctorate of law from the University of Manitoba.
When we combine these two things together, doing well and doing good, I believe this is a very, very powerful statement as a social entrepreneur. We are trying to contribute to make the world a better place to live.
For his philanthropy and contributions to education and social entrepreneurship, CCLA is proud to present Dr. Wayne Shield with the 2024 Chinese Canadian Legend Award.
大家好, distinguished guests, friends and all. I'm so very pleased to join you all this remarkable event to recognize the achievements and contributions of Canadians of Chinese descent. I would like to applaud all those who were involved in and contributed to making this event such a great success. My heartfelt congratulations to Benny and your team. And I'm so honored and thankful to be given a role tonight in the recognition of the first recipient, Mr. Wayne Chu, Dr. Wayne Chu. A Canadian immigrant's success story. Wayne built a highly successful business enterprise from scratch.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow honorees, and distinguished guests. It is a great honor to accept this award as one of this year's Chinese Canadian Legend Award recipients. Being recognized alongside with a group of remarkable individuals is deeply humbling. Reflecting on my journey, I think of the challenge and opportunities that shaped my path. When I arrived in Canada in the early 1980s, I had little more than a dream and a determination. Like many newcomers, I faced hurdles, but I was welcomed by a community that embraced previous Elliott Trudeau visions for a multicultural Canada, a place where diversity is celebrated, and everyone has a chance to succeed. But my journey is just one chapter in a larger story. Generations of Chinese Canadians before us faced immense adversity, yet they were determined to build a community and contribute to this country. Their resilience and hard work lay the foundation for the opportunities we have today, and this award is a testament of their legacy. To the honor, and I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to my wife, my good friends, and also my family for their continuous support for my journey. To the organizer of the Chinese Canadian Legend Award, thank you for this honor. It is a privilege to be part of a community that values determination, resilience, and giving back. And to my fellow award recipients, your stories inspire me, and I'm proud to be in your company tonight. Thank you.
When Frances was only 4.5 years old, something tragic happened in her family. Her father, a Hong Kong Fire Services captain, died heroically when a building collapsed. He left behind a 26-year-old widow and 4 children. Frances was the eldest daughter with 2 sisters and a 1-month-old baby brother. They had to move in with their grandparents, 4 uncles and aunt. And the trailblazing breakthroughs for Chinese-Canadian female scientists, CCLA is proud to present Professor Frances Zheng with the 2024 Chinese-Canadian Legend Award.
Hello, everyone. First, I would like to thank the CCLA Selection Committee for recognizing me with this award. I am very honored to be among such a group of outstanding recipients this year. The mission of CCLA is extremely important. My granddaughter,紅楓Valentine, is here today, and she and many other children will benefit from the effort of CCLA. Why? Avery is 10 years old, and she lives with her parents in Caledon. She is being teased at the school for being Chinese. The classmate would say, Chinese, Chinese. Let us celebrate our ethnicity. Let us celebrate our differences. We are proud Chinese Canadian. We are proud Chinese Canadian. We are proud of this hip hip parade. I am also very grateful for my late mother, whose whole life is focused on me and my 3 siblings. She works diligently to give us every opportunity in life. She is child-focused. She is selfless. I am also blessed to be a doctor, to be able to contribute to medical science and research, and also be an educator at UHN, U of T, and also nationally and internationally, all God's grace. I would like to thank the support of my husband, Tony, my 3 children, Jonathan, Gordon, and Joyce, and also my research team, especially SAS, my department at UHN, U of T, and the UHN Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. 6, Governor General of Canada, the Right Honorable Madame Adrienne Clarkson.
Adrienne Clarkson's life is marked by contradictions and achievements that define her unique legacy. Born in Hong Kong, she and her family arrived in Canada in 1942 as refugees, despite the Chinese Exclusion Act. Clarkson excelled academically, nurtured by supportive teachers like Mr. Walter B. Mann, who ignited her passion for literature and public speaking. She pursued English at the University of Toronto. Enhanced the public's perception of the Governor General's office and redefined its traditionally ceremonial role. Her tenure was marked by dynamic engagement, advocacy for the arts, and fostering reconciliation with Indigenous communities. In 2006, Clarkson and her husband John Ralston Saul founded the Institute for Canadian Citizenship, promoting inclusion and helping new citizens integrate. Clarkson's life exemplifies transformation and the belief that everyone can achieve their unique potential in Canada, contributing to its rich, diverse cultural fabric. In the same year, she was awarded the Companion of the Order of Canada for her exceptional accomplishments and contributions in promoting diversity and national unity. CCLA is proud to present the Honorable Madame Adrienne Clarkson with the 2024 Chinese Canadian Legend Award.
We would like
Adrienne Clarkson.
It's wonderful to be a legend, and especially a Chinese Canadian legend. When my family and I arrived here in 1942, August of 1942, 82 years ago, I was 2 years old, just 2.5 actually, and people kept saying to us, who were very kind, we were very well received. The Anglican Church, of which we were members, took us under their wing. My father, having worked for the Canadian government, with the Canadian government as a businessman in Hong Kong, had contacts, so we were not totally alone, although we had no family. They left everybody in Hong Kong under the occupation of the Japanese. We were welcomed, and right from the beginning, people said to us, well, tell us, where is Hong Kong? And we were a family who had arrived from a place that nobody in Canada had heard of. This is very difficult for people now to realize when we have so many students and so many people who have immigrated here. But I can tell you that at that time, the Chinese in Ottawa were from the original Chinese group of people who had come to work as workers on the railroad, the descendants of those people, the wonderful people who had the Chinese Canadian Golden Dragon restaurants in places like Sudbury and Timmins, and where we always went when we had summer holidays and drove around the province, and we always stopped at those restaurants, and we would have chop suey, egg foo young, followed by a marshmallow and chocolate sundae with a maraschino cherry on top. Canada has always meant belonging to me, because from the moment we first arrived, we belonged. We were made to feel that we belonged. At school, I was made to feel that I belonged. I was made to feel that I was going to have something to offer to this country. I hope I have offered it, and certainly I would offer it always to everyone who comes here, which was the meaning of the Institute for Canadian Citizenship, which I founded with my husband, John Ralston Saul, when we left Ottawa. It's to make everyone who comes to this country and chooses this country to become a citizen of, that they feel that they can belong, that they can contribute, that eventually they will sit in rooms like this and honor each other for building buildings, for discovering things medically, for being part of law enforcement, for being part of the way in which this country operates at every level, politically, economically, in every possible way. That's what it means to be Canadian. That's what it means to belong. And that's what my life has meant to me, and I hope to you and to the future of this country, for you and your children and your grandchildren. Thank you so much for this honor.
Present this to my Aunt Adrienne. I won't pin it on her very elaborate dress, but I will present it to her right now.
Thank you so much, the Right Honorable Madame Adrienne Clarkson, Albert, and Justin. That is just moving. Senator Lillian Dick.
Was born in 1945 in North Battlethorpe, a small town in Saskatchewan, to a Chinese father and a Cree mother. Her mother was haunted by her residential school experience and taught her children to distance themselves from their Indigenous heritage. Their home was their safe haven when they were bullied at school. After school, Lillian and her brother would help out in her parents' cafe. Lillian was encouraged by a high school chemistry teacher to attend the University of Saskatchewan, where she enrolled in biochemistry. She faced discrimination in university.
And I always want to say, be true to yourselves, because you are a unique, authentic human being. But for this group in particular, with the young people, with the Aboriginal, the Indigenous graduates, don't be afraid. Just go out there. Be the drive that creates change and makes Canada into the beautiful country that is. We do need change, we do need reconciliation, and you are the way of the future. Just go for it, pedal to the floor, and go forward.
Lillian's life story was adapted into a play and then a movie called Cafe Daughter, which premiered in 2023. For her outstanding achievements and contributions in advocating social justice, gender equality, and equal rights for ethnic minorities, CCLA is proud to present Senator Lillian Kwan Dick with the 2024 Chinese Canadian Legend Award. Search for a missing childhood friend planted a seed for Kai to become a police officer when he grew up. Kai and his family moved from Taiwan to Canada in 1970. It was a difficult adjustment for 6-year-old Kai, who endured teasing and bullying at school. The executive director of the Indigenous Police Chiefs of Ontario Association. For his trailblazing accomplishments in law enforcement and his contributions to marginalized segments of the community, CCLA is proud to present Mr. Kai Lu with the 2024 Chinese Canadian Legend Award.
With us afterwards. Thank you.
It's interesting. 37 years of policing, chasing bad guys at gunpoint through dark alleys. And if you can see, if you're standing up close, you will see my hands shaking. 大家好，我是要谢谢你们今天晚上。我是新牛，我是叫刘文凯。跟
Good evening, distinguished guests, friends, and family. I just want to echo Chief Troun's words that tonight is very much like the passing of the baton to a younger generation of Asian police leaders within our country. Tonight, we not only have the Chief of Police for the City of London, we also have William Lee, Ontario Provincial Police Inspector, and as well as Mark Dipa with the Peel Regional Police Service. And as much as I was the first Asian officer with the Ottawa Police, it is these young police leaders that will continue to carry the torch and make our country and our province more inclusive, and especially making our police service reflective of the communities they serve. I am very humbled to stand before you as the recipient of the 2024 Chinese Legend Award. I stand before you recognizing the collective contribution of all Asian Canadians. I would also like to congratulate the many deserving nominees that were considered for this award. Our collective contribution to Canada each day is making our chosen country more inclusive. Congratulations to all the award recipients. And I heard, as it was being explained earlier, the selection process of the committee and how strenuous and how transparent it was, with names being blocked out. And I whispered to my wife of 39 years, I think their process made an error tonight. I am humbled to share the stage with the other award recipients. As noted in my introduction, I was born in Taiwan. I would like to say that I was made in Taiwan. And like many things that are made in Taiwan, I was rebuilt in Canada. At the age of 6, I had my heart rebuilt at the Toronto Hospital for Sick Children. Without surgery, I would have died before the age of 12. And so I learned at a very early age and recognized that I was a living miracle of modern medicine. And you heard the biographies of the number of health scientists, doctors that were here tonight. They are saving lives each and every day, and I am a witness to that. When my family immigrated to Canada in October of 1970, we were welcomed by the City of Toronto. We settled in the neighborhood of Regent Park. And at that time, as a kid growing up, if the Toronto Police Service had pulled in a police car, we would throw snowballs and run. And as a kid, I didn't know why I would run, other than the older kids would run. And you didn't want to be the slowest. But it wasn't until one day that I came home from school, and a school friend of mine in elementary school had returned home late. And as a result, the police descended into our community of Regent Park and began searching for this missing boy. And I had an opportunity to ride in a police car with this Toronto police officer. I could see the stress, the concern in this officer's face. And we learned that a short time later that my friend had simply gone to another friend's house for dinner and hadn't advised his parents. But that interaction planted the seed in me that I knew from that point forward I wanted to be just like that officer, to serve the community. You heard about the minimum height requirements being removed. It was an interesting process when I reached out to the Ottawa Police Service in 1985. They asked over the telephone what my name was. And so at the time I provided my full name, Young Kai Lu. There was a pause by the recruiting officer on the other end of the phone. And then he asked, are you a visible minority? And growing up in Montreal, we were called ethnics. And so that was a new terminology, visible minority. And I asked, are you looking for visible minorities? And they said yes. I figured if I was one, I would have a better chance. And so I responded, yes I am, I'm a visible minority. And he says, are you Asian from your name? And I said yes. Again, a pause. And the Staff Sergeant Richard Brzezowski on the other end said, on the telephone said, well, you don't sound Chinese. Oh, I'm very sorry. And this is how I became the first Asian police officer. I want to take this opportunity to credit the many accomplishments and the career successes that I've had to mentors and supporters and allies that have played an integral part of my life. Some are here tonight. Covert Police Chaplain Andrew Truder and his wife Karen, Justice Albert Wong, our legal counsel Julian Faulkner, who was flying his private plane and stuck in the air because of the weather and so was not able to land here in Toronto. I have a number of my team that are here tonight as well, Gabby Santana and Ashley Taylor, Russell Taylor. These two individuals keep me grounded each and every day. In fact, they're the ones that operate the Indigenous Police Chiefs of Ontario Association. And then for those that had an opportunity to read the bio, you would have heard in the presentation how in kindergarten in grade 1, I would be bullied, I would be shoved into the ground, have sand kicked on my face because I simply could not communicate in English. And my hero, my older sister Lily, is here tonight with my brother-in-law, Andrew. I've been very fortunate in my policing careers and have had the opportunity to break barriers and fight for advocacy of those that are disadvantaged. I've been the public face of policing on posters, front pages of newspapers and magazines. I've worked undercover with the RCMP with a long hair in the ponytail, working shift work, responding to many tragic 911 calls like Christmases, birthdays of our 3 children and special occasions missed. But they were made much easier knowing that my wife of 39 years, Heidi, who was the rock of our family, was at home looking after the home front. And I'm just going to get Heidi, she's already standing, so I'm going to get her to put her hands up. Before I close by thanking the Chinese-Canadian Legend Association, I want to share one other story. How people can touch your lives without ever knowing that you have influenced their life. Her Excellency, Adrienne Clarkson, is here tonight. Our path, in fact, crossed 20 years ago this week. It was the summer of 2020. The summer of 2024. I had been selected to travel with the Governor General across Canada on a Governor General Leadership Conference. As a result of that conference, I have a picture of myself and Her Excellency when we met with the Premier of Quebec. And so I have a picture in my office desk. And in my early days as a police chief, I had the Chief of Leeds and 1,000 Islands, the Mayor of Leeds and 1,000 Islands come into my office. And he saw the picture. Frank Kinsella looked at me and said, "Who is that?" And I said, "Oh, that's my mom." We continued our meeting without ever referencing that picture. 6 months later, I get a call from Member of Parliament, Steve Clark, and says, the Leeds and 1,000 Islands are twinning, Leeds and 1,000 Islands, Ontario, are twinning with Leeds and 1,000 Islands, China. And there's a delegation of mayors from the 1,000 Islands, China, that will be coming to Ontario, and the mayor would like to invite you and your mother to the reception. There was a bit of confusion and pause, and I asked the Member of Parliament, why would you want my mother to attend the dinner of Chinese delegates? And the response was, well, isn't your mother the Governor General? And so, Your Excellency, as a result of having our path crossed 20 years ago, I ended up on a delegation, my wife and I, as translators for 8 mayors from the St. Lawrence region. And it's something that I carry very close to my heart, in that when people ask, who is that picture? It's my mom. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
In 1966, Peter's parents brought him and his sister to Canada from Taiwan with less than $3,000 in total possessions. When he first arrived, Peter was required to attend English classes for new immigrants, and he was regularly picked on in the schoolyard. His father encouraged him to work twice as hard as others to compete on an equal footing. To make ends meet, his father worked in other provinces, while his mother often worked the night shift at the post office. Peter was independent and could take care of himself and his younger sister. Today, Professor Peter Liu is an internationally recognized physician scientist and a leading cardiologist in Canada. He is currently the Chief Scientific Officer and Vice President of Research at the University of Ottawa Heart Institute. Peter?
Thank you so much for those kind words from Dr. Andrew Chong, who I really admire endlessly. And Mesdames et Messieurs, members of the Canadian Chinese Living Legend Association, so grateful, and 谢谢各位观众. I'm indeed humbled to be standing amongst so many remarkable fellow awardees who have contributed so much to the Canadian society, as we heard of those moving stories, enhancing our global standing and making us proud to be Chinese Canadians. My too was also made in Taiwan, as mentioned earlier. And at the time when I came to Canada, I didn't want to mention that because at that time, if you're made in Taiwan, you came with no batteries and no warranty. But of course, time has changed dramatically. And now most advanced chips are made in Taiwan and helping to power AI in many domains, including health. As a Chinese immigrant, I've been blessed with the opportunity to pursue my passion for cardiovascular research, from understanding the fundamental principles to prevention, treatment, and potential cure. We foster the next generation of leaders and aiming for innovation, now for brain and heart. Of course, these are the organs of the seat of love and harmony. My journey has been challenging, but with perseverance, unwavering support from my family, colleagues, research team, and the vibrant Chinese-Canadian community, we prevailed and will continue to surge forward. This award is not just a recognition of my work, but also a testament of the strength and resilience of all immigrants who have come to Canada with hopes and dreams. Our dreams are woven into the fabric of this nation, enriching our diversity, power our collective achievement, and achieving innovation. I'm most grateful to my parents, especially my mom, who's a beacon of strength and inspiration for all of us. And we just celebrated our 101st birthday last month. I owe a debt of gratitude to my wife, Dr. Elaine Wong, who's in the audience here, and also my sister, Dr. Fifi Liu, who are always my best cheerleaders and also vice constantly. I'm again most grateful for this recognition from the Canadian Chinese Living Legend Association. I'm committed to continue my efforts to improve the health and well-being of all Canadians and celebrate together the Chinese-Canadian community and its accomplishments, and to promote love and harmony amongst us all. Thank you, Mexico.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu, and thank you so much, Dr. Chan.